I remember every single detail of that day, and nothing of that journey ever escapes me, or of the days that went before or after. And I want to emphasize the stranger component, because that was and is the most predominant feeling that accompanies my life as a Cuban exile. At age 10, I became different. I became somehow separate. My life was severed, truncated, and I became permanently other. I have to say that the journey that brought me to the land of freedom was nothing out of the ordinary. It was a short 30-minute flight from Havana Airport to Miami International Airport. On the 18th of December 1961, 6 days before my 10th birthday. There was nothing extraordinary about it, since we left the country legally as political refugees. There was nothing extraordinary about it except a profound feeling of loss as I placed my hand against the glass cage where my father's hand was. That glass cage separated the ones who were leaving from the ones to whom the state had not granted exit visas. My dad was one of those. I left with my mother and my younger sister, not knowing if I would see him again. The other half of the family, my brother and my older sister, had left the country already. Before boarding the twin-engine Pan American airplane that brought us to the United States, we were thoroughly searched and our bags reduced to 2 pieces of clothing per person, absolutely no money and no jewelry. We had to leave. My father was assistant district attorney, and he had made it very clear that justice in a totalitarian regime was not justice, and we were being persecuted. 30 minutes later, I was a stranger in a strange land. There was nothing familiar about this new city, nothing that I could relate to, nothing that would make me think that I would even like it here. Interestingly enough, the day that I arrived at Miami International Airport was the day that my journey actually began. That day marks the end of my childhood. It marks the day that I began to know loss and anger and confusion. Oddly enough, the land that would save me from the totalitarian regime of a communist state also taught me fear and hatred. In a short span of 30 minutes, my life took a 180-degree turn. I had never known want. I had never known confusion, fear, nor loss. Safely nestled in the warmth of a loving home, I grew up totally confident that things were the way that they were supposed to be. I spent my days in school or playing with my cousins around the streets of my small town in Consolación del Sur, very small town, the western province of Pinar del Rio in Cuba. Everyone knew who I was. Everyone looked out for me. If I got into any sort of mischief, I could count on any adult to reprimand me or threaten that they would tell my mother. I played mostly in the park that was part of the plaza where our town church was. What a beautiful church it was. It was gigantic, or at least it seemed gigantic to my 10-year-old eyes, and it smelled of incense